Hello, grade 4 learners. My name is Teacher L, and welcome to our science class, Quarter 1, Week 6. And this week, we will talk about the issues and concerns in our local community and how science can help solve them. Now, look closely at this picture. What do you see? These are examples of different types of pollution: land pollution, air pollution, water pollution, and noise pollution. Land pollution is when garbage is thrown on the ground or in places where it should not be. Air pollution happens when smoke and harmful gases are released into the air. Water pollution happens when trash, chemicals, or dirty water go into rivers, lakes, or oceans. Noise pollution is caused by loud and unpleasant sounds like too much honking, loud music, or construction noise. All these types of pollution affect people, animals, and our environment. That's why we need to learn how science can help solve these problems. Now that we know about pollution, what can we do to help? One of the best ways is by practicing proper waste management. Let's learn more about proper waste management. Improper waste disposal and the increasing amount of trash or garbage produced are one of the major problems faced by people, not only in our community but also in the whole world. Did you know that each person creates waste every day? From food wrappers to plastic bottles? That's why it adds up fast. Problems on improper waste disposal have caused other problems such as clogged drainage or canals, flooding, and diseases. When garbage blocks our canals, rainwater cannot flow properly. This leads to floods that affect homes, schools, and even our health. There is a need for people to find ways on how to address these problems because it is our responsibility to protect our environment. One of these ways is to apply the 3 R's: reuse, reduce, and recycle. Practicing the 3 R's doesn't only reduce waste, it also saves energy and protects animals and nature. So if we all do our part, we can help make our surroundings cleaner, healthier, and safer for everyone. So now let's explore how we can apply the 3 R's in our daily lives. Now that we know about the 3 R's, let's talk about one important step to make them work: waste segregation. To make the 3 R's work, there is a need to separate or segregate trash or garbage. This means putting the right kind of waste in the right container, so we know what can still be used or processed again. First, we must know which garbage can be recycled and which ones cannot. To do this, we need to understand the two main types of waste: biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Biodegradable are waste or garbage that can be broken down or decomposed, like food scraps, dried leaves, or paper. Non-biodegradable are waste or garbage that cannot be broken down or decomposed, such as plastic, glass, and metal. It's time for our first activity. In this activity, you will look at the following pictures, identify which pictures show reducing, reusing, and recycling of waste. Write reduce, reuse, or recycle on the lines provided. Do this in your notebook. Now let's move on to activity 2, Sort Me Right. In this activity, you will sort the following words showing different types of trash or garbage into biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Write your answer on each trash can to either the biodegradable or non-biodegradable labels. Do this in your notebook. Now that we've learned how to manage waste properly, let's take a closer look at some environmental issues and problems we face today. Environmental issues are problems that harm the earth and affect the health of people, animals, and plants. It is important that we understand these issues so we can help find ways to solve them with the help of science and by changing our habits. Let's talk about one serious environmental problem, deforestation. Deforestation is the purposeful cutting down of trees or clearing of forested land. This means the clearing or thinning of forests by humans. But why does deforestation happen? Here are some common reasons. Agricultural expansion, cutting trees to make space for planting crops. Infrastructure development, building roads, bridges, or buildings. High demand for timber or logs, using wood for furniture, paper, and other products. Fields for grazing animals, clearing forests so animals like cows can have space to eat. Housing purposes, making space for homes and buildings. Although people may need land for farming or homes, we must also think about how to protect nature. Trees are very important, and we need to plant more if we cut some down. Another big environmental problem we face today is pollution. Pollution is the presence of substances in the environment that have harmful or poisonous effect on one's health. It means adding something to our surroundings that causes harm to people, animals, and nature. So what are the major forms of pollution that harm our health? The major forms of pollution are air pollution, water pollution, and land pollution. Let's take a closer look. Air pollution. Air pollution is caused by car smoke, pollen, smoke from burning and factories, bad smell from garbage, and even dust. Water pollution. Water pollution happens when people dump garbage into rivers or oceans, when oil spills occur, and when dirty water from farms and factories gets into our water sources. Land pollution. Land pollution is caused by throwing waste improperly, waste from factories or farms, oil spills, and even acid rain. But why is pollution dangerous? The toxic chemicals from pollution can enter our bodies and harm our health. It can cause serious problems like cancer, breathing difficulties, early birth, and other illnesses. That's why we must take care of our environment. A clean environment means a healthy life. Let's now talk about another important issue, food waste. Food waste is food intended for human consumption that is wasted and lost. This includes leftovers from restaurants and homes, and even food that gets lost during farming, harvesting, transportation, or storage. Did you know that food waste also affects our planet? About 8% of the global greenhouse gases come from food waste. That means when we waste food, we're also harming the environment. So, what can we do to prevent food waste? Here are some easy and helpful steps. First, check your food at home before buying more. Second, plan your meals to avoid buying too much food. Third, eat your leftovers and store them properly in the refrigerator. Fourth, keep your food stored nicely so it doesn't spoil easily. Fifth, compose your leftovers instead of throwing them in the trash. By following these steps, we can reduce food waste, save money, and help protect our environment. Let's talk about waste management, one of the best ways to take care of our environment. Proper waste management starts with waste segregation. To reduce pollution and protect nature, we must separate our garbage into different groups like recyclables, reusable goods, and compostable materials. Science helps us manage waste through the three R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Reduce means using less and avoiding waste. Reuse, this means using items again instead of throwing them away. Recycle, this means turning old materials into something useful and new. So by following the three R's, we help reduce the amount of trash we create and take a big step toward protecting the earth. It's time to check what you have learned. Please get your notebook and write your answers to the following questions. Number 1. Which of the following materials is generally considered harmful to the environment? A. Biodegradable plastics. B. Styrofoam. C. Paper. D. Glass. Number 2. What is a beneficial change in material use that helps the environment? A. Increased use of single-use plastics. B. Replacement of plastic straws with reusable metal ones. C. Higher consumption of disposable batteries. D. More use of non-recyclable packaging materials. Number 3. Which type of material decomposition benefits the environment? A. Biodegradable materials breaking down naturally. B. Non-biodegradable materials remaining unchanged for decades. C. Recycling plastic into new products. D. Burning waste materials in open fields. 4. Which of these materials is harmful to wildlife and ecosystems? A. Recycled paper products. B. Lead-based paints. C. Organic cotton fabrics. D. Aluminum cans. 5. Which change in material usage contributes positively to reducing pollution? A. Increased use of chemical fertilizers in agriculture. B. Switching from disposable plastic bags to reusable cloth bags. C. More reliance on fossil fuels for energy. D. Disposal of electronic waste in landfills. Let's have a quick true or false activity to test your understanding. Write the word true if the statement is correct and false if it is not. Use your notebook for your answers. Number 1. Recycling plastic helps reduce the amount of plastic waste that ends up in landfills and oceans. Number 2. Using recycled paper products contributes to conserving forests and reduces the environmental impact of paper production. Number 3. Reusing and repurposing electronic devices can help reduce the amount of electronic waste generated. 4. Composting organic waste helps minimize methane emissions from landfills and enriches soil health. 5. Opting for energy-efficient appliances and lighting helps reduce energy consumption and environmental impact. Great job today, everyone. Thank you for watching and participating. Keep learning, keep caring for the environment, and see you in our next science lesson. Goodbye.